Hey guys, it's Nikes, and Wonder Man has released in its entirety. 2026 is set to be a huge year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe with a Spider-Man film and, I don't know, Avengers Doomsday? So it is interesting to see this year begin with a quaint little show. However, while this show is far smaller in scale than most other MCU shows, it's also far higher in quality. Oh, also, spoilers, duh. Wonder Man follows Simon Williams, a struggling actor in Hollywood desperate for a gig. Upon hearing a remake of the classic superhero film Wonder Man is in development, he gains interest in playing the titular character. And so does someone else, Trevor Slattery, the actor who played the Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
America.
What starts off as a shallow rivalry for the part quickly turns into a strong bromance as they work together to obtain the roles of their lifetime. However, unbeknownst to Simon, he's secretly being tracked by the Department of Damage Control due to him secretly having powers, and Trevor is working for the Department of Damage Control to gain any information on Simon. It's a simple narrative, but a strong one, and the show revolves around the bromance between Simon and Trevor. It's revealed very early on that Trevor is working for the Department of Damage Control, with Simon not finding out until the penultimate episode, so a lot of the show is spent waiting for the classic "you lied to me" trope. But while you're waiting, the show does a fantastic job showing their relationship evolve over the course of the series. Trevor acts as a mentor figure for Simon, and soon enough, they're always together and land the two leads in the Wonder Man film. So by the time Simon finds out the truth, it's even more effective since you've just spent 3 hours watching their bond grow. It leads to a slow but very strong final episode where they both make huge sacrifices for each other, which leads to a really poignant open end that I'm very much looking forward to the continuation of. The series revolves around the film industry a lot, which is pretty fun to see. It's very unique as it takes a far more civilian approach to the MCU, as there's only one character here with powers, and he does his best to hide them. So the show is a character-based drama. It doesn't have the easy crowd pleaser of spiffy CGI and flashy action sequences to get by. Instead, it tells an engaging story with engaging characters, which is really unique and refreshing for an MCU project. It still is very firmly set in the MCU, of course. First off, there's Trevor Slattery, and not an episode goes by without someone mentioning he was the Mandarin. But past that, there are background posters for a Captain America musical, a costume design board with a bunch of hero suits. It's a really cool facet of the MCU I'd never expect to be explored, but it's handled really well and is really cool to see. One thing that was teased a bit but not followed up on too much is the topic of superhero fatigue. This is an issue that this medium has been suffering with over the past 5 years, with an overwhelming amount of films and TV series constantly releasing, most of which with zero correlation to each other. In some marketing materials and even one of the trailers, it was mentioned, and I was expecting and looking forward to some meta commentary on the issue from a company struggling with that very issue. But it's just brushed over, more so used as an in-universe excuse to do Wonder Man. Because of superhero fatigue, the world needs something big, something different, something new, and the film they make in the show looks worse than most MCU movies, which is funny in its own way. But I'll give the show this: it definitely is the most interesting MCU project in recent memory. I've been following its marketing, and it's really stuck out to me since it's a Marvel show, but the trailers don't have huge fight scenes or explosions. So this series is something different, and because of that, it stands out among the crowd in a very good way. It definitely gives me a lot of WandaVision vibes. A lot of that show is very stylized and telling a long-winded mystery thriller that slowly unfolded throughout its episodes, but unlike WandaVision, this show didn't slip back into that generic MCU formula at the end, which was really refreshing to see. At some points, the story does feel like it drags a little bit. Plot points that only last a single episode. There are 2 episodes right in the middle that definitely feel very filler. I don't dislike them, as they both have some decent world building and are interesting enough watches, but looking back, those 2 middle episodes feel like they lose a bit of momentum before the final 3 pick up once again. The cast is fantastic. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is very charismatic, and from the beginning you feel for him with his struggles. And of course, Ben Kingsley is fantastic as Trevor Slattery. He's really great comic relief and also just a joy to watch. I really like that he's still a character in the MCU, as he's become really interesting ever since Iron Man 3. I also really enjoyed Zlatko Buric as the illustrious Von Kovac, the big shot director directing Wonder Man. He just perfectly suits that role, and it's a treat to watch him. Overall, as you can tell, I quite enjoyed this series. I went into it with an open mind, not really knowing what to expect, and so I'm pleasantly surprised to see such a unique, interesting, and fun show come from the MCU. It's definitely up there as one of my favorite MCU shows, that's for sure. Now what the future holds for this character, it's unclear. It definitely seems like they'll lean more into his powers and him being an actual hero, but I highly doubt he will be in Doomsday. That movie is already so crammed, there unfortunately isn't any space for him there, but hey, there's always Secret Wars. Regardless, we will see him eventually return, and I am very much looking forward to that day. Thanks for watching. Did you enjoy Wonder Man? Let me know down below. You can check out these videos to see all the superhero projects releasing in 2026, or my Avengers Doomsday watch guide. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.